What is up, ladies and gentlemen of the online Jamily? This, of course, here is JamiroFan2000 with another episode of the Jamiroquai Minute. All the latest Jamiroquai news, and it looks like the podcast has finally come out. The QUAICast Episode 1 is now live on multiple platforms. So let's get into more news about that. In Jamiroquai QUAICast podcast news, I had recorded Jamiroquai Minute to note that I'm happy to announce that as of the last week of December, I released episode 1 of the recently reported QUAICast Jamiroquai fan podcast by the Jamily for the Jamily on multiple platforms out of Anchor FM, Spotify, Instagram, and YouTube. This has been a long time in the making of this podcast, but I think that I did a really good job on episode 1. By the way, if you're wondering what's in episode 1 of the QUAICast, I do an introduction about my history in the band Jamiroquai or in the online Jamily, and of course I talk about all the major recent news with the band Jamiroquai, and I look back at some of the biggest news stories of Jamiroquai in the calendar year of 2021. But as I said, I am going to be making this podcast available on multiple platforms, specifically on Anchor FM, which is basically going to be the base camp for this podcast. So if you want to listen to it there, you can listen to it there. It's also going to be imported onto Spotify, which just started a channel on Spotify with the QUAICast logo and everything. And, of course, I will be also importing it to YouTube and, of course, my Instagram. So you got multiple places to check out the current episode and future episodes of the QUAICast podcast in your own time. I do have a lot of plans for future content on that podcast of the QUAICast to interview band members of the Jamily, some of the most notable members of the Jamily, from collectors to people who are multi-talented in the Jamily. And I might try to maybe line up a few interviews with band members of Jamiroquai. So most specifically, I want to try to get Derek McKenzie of Jamiroquai in, his schedule permitting for a potential interview to be aired on the QUAICast podcast. So if you want to stay up to date on the QUAICast, be sure to keep your eyes on my social media for future episodes on the QUAICast podcast, and be sure to check out my Anchor FM page, which I will be sure to put a link to in the description of this video down below, so you can follow it there. And be sure to keep an eye on my social medias, like between Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and I'll be sure to put annotations of all the latest new episodes from the QUAICast podcast. So I have a lot of episodes lined up to record and to release. So expect like 1 or 2 new little mini episodes to be coming out the first week, the first week of New Year's 2021 into 2022. So lots of content to come, hopefully, from that very, very soon. But I hope you enjoy what you hear, and I hope you follow me there if you're more looking for more of an auditory pursuit of the latest happenings of Jamiroquai in your own time online. And as always, this is JamiroFan2000, and I'll see you really soon with another Jamiroquai Minute. Bye-bye, everybody, and happy holidays.